Well, we are off on another adventure to explore the Far East. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Inspire to Travel with Bev. This time we are going to check out Myanmar. Myanmar used to be known as Burma. Sometimes it's still called Burma, but it is beyond India and this side of Thailand. You can see the orange there. It goes quite high, mountains in the north, and lots of coastline. Look at the coastline. It's just developing its beaches. It is also known as the land of the pagodas, which we will see plenty of, and it is a Buddhist country. There are lots of pagodas, temples, and Buddhas to visit. Also, the country is beautiful. It has lakes and rivers and forests. If you get into the country, you'll see it's also rich in agriculture. There are unique characteristics which we'll explore. One hint is foot paddlers. But most important and can be the best part of your trip are the people. They're friendly and it's a joy to meet them. And there are lots of festivals which you will probably catch one while you're there. Myanmar in general is kind of shrouded in mystery. What do you know about Myanmar or Burma? It has had a rich history in the past, political turmoil, but you do hear about the pagodas, the beautiful valley of pagodas. There are so many unique cultures in the country with 135 distinct ethnic groups. But the main thing about Myanmar that struck me is the Buddhism. There are monks everywhere. You can visit temples. But what you must remember is to respect them. For instance, this sign reminds you to dress appropriately. No low-necked, no short skirts. Don't charge in there like you have the right to be or do whatever you want. You're the tourist and observer, and they allow you to be part of it. Be respectful and be amazed by the beauty of it all. If you're flying in, you'll come into Yangon. It is a port city, very busy that way, and downtown has high-rises. There's a lot of construction, and it's getting more and more congested downtown each year. But there's also a very British influence when you look at the construction. Just to say at this point, there has been a lot of political turmoil and instability, so you want to check that it is safe for travelers and tourists. It will depend if you can get a visa in the first place, and you want to check with your embassy just to be sure. Better safe than sorry. In this video, we're going to focus on daily life, the people, and temple life because it's such a big part of Myanmar. But first, 5 fun facts about Myanmar. You'll notice people have a white paste on their face. It's called thanaka. It's from a root and it has a cooling effect for them. They also eat tea, so they ferment the tea leaves and they'll eat it as a snack or in salads. And the most famous pagoda, Shwedagon, is said to have a diamond in its peak over 70 carats. They chew betel nut, usually with a lime paste in a leaf, and they'll chew it, it'll go red and stains their teeth, and they spit it out and there's red everywhere. Men wear a sarong like we're used to seeing females, knotted at the front or side. It's called a longi. Let's have a quick look at daily life. People live in a variety of accommodations in the city and the villages, from apartments to small houses, and they often make the houses out of these woven slats, and yes, there are shanty towns. It seems like everyone's working and they work hard. They're not afraid of physical labor. You've got old with young. You've got men and women working together in the field and everyone in the family. Simple farming. The ground is very rich. They show life can be simple, but they also enjoy life. The river and water is a very big part of their life, so you'll see a lot of things along the river, such as this little pig being pulled to the water. He was actually getting a bath. I don't know why he had a bath. I don't want to know. I find the people very social and friendly, and they're always with their children. This is a typical mode of transportation called a pedicab, pedaling, or a saika, which is like a sidecar, and it's not uncommon to see this loaded into a saika. If you like people watching, one of the ways in Yangon is to take the circle train. It's part of the transportation, and people will pile on, and they may be heading home, they may be heading to market, or they're actually doing business on the train. Like this woman is selling watermelon. She goes on and off the train, and then she'll get off at the market as well. Some are just commuting, getting home. These boys, probably coming from school, are very curious about us. And then this man came up and talked to us and showed us his red mouth. You look around again, there's a man with his boy, a lady just waiting to get home. Now, I've mentioned about the different ethnic groups. You can see different clothing and you can see different headpieces. So you might see them in Yangon and you can guess that they would be a different ethnic group. Now, experiencing Myanmar life is kind of combining the people and the daily life, and I'm going to show you by going to market. So I always love going to market, especially on the big market days. You can buy products there for your snacks. This fruit is durian fruit, which is the smelliest fruit in the world. This weird looking fruit is rambutan with a nice sweet center. Look at how good the fruit looks though. It's so clean and big. This is my weekly buy. This makes me happy if I can have these at home. When you go to the market, they'll weigh it with this old-fashioned scale, and you might see things you've never seen before. Maybe you don't want to know what they are, but it's very interesting to walk around. This, yes, it is grasshoppers. You can see the legs. Yum. Then there's a fishmonger. It's fresh in Yangon. And the butcher, always in a market. Fresh pineapple cut right there. And then there's also the flower lady. So you can get anything you want. Plus, you can people watch. It's super fun. And you see how people live their daily lives. And you experience it. And you can get to interact with the people. This is a simple restaurant at the market. And then there's street food. Delicious. If your stomach is iffy, don't do it. But you can get freshly cooked food on the street. I added temple life as something to talk about, basically because it's such a huge part of the Myanmar culture. Everywhere you go, every tour you go to, you will see monks. You'll see young monks doing their time as a monk, and you'll see them in a line, usually in the morning if you're out early, going to get their alms or their food for the day. They carry this begging bowl or alms bowl, and they will get their supplies for the day from the businesses nearby. So you do see them in the morning, and then they're doing their monk business or teaching, training. And yes, there are female monks or Buddhist nuns in pink. Besides seeing the monks when you visit temples, because a lot of the tourist attractions are pagodas, you will see different Buddhas. They can be representing different aspects of the Buddhist teaching and Buddhas past, present, and future. You'll also see different craftsmanship, and some of that is what you look for when you go. There are large Buddhas and there are small Buddhas. There are even reclining Buddhas. Usually they're large too. So this one is very beautiful, reclining, and you see the feet. Look at the soles of the feet. Very interesting. There is even one temple we went to, and the Buddha has glasses, and they're real glasses. One thing to notice when you do go is check out the artistic detail and style. I mean, look at the nails there up close. The craftsmanship is part of what makes them unique. There's also a lot of gold when you go to the temples, and some of it is gold leaf. So the men, women are not allowed to, but men will put gold leaf on various parts of the Buddha or the Buddhas. I don't understand it all. Most of the pagodas you visit are actively used and maintained by the monks, and the locals are in attendance there and worship. Outside, it's common to see the sacred fig tree or Bodhi tree, and will have Buddhas under it. When you're near pagodas, you hear tinkling bells. The bells are called seine, if I'm saying this right, and they are on poles or high spires called ti, which the tinkling is supposed to keep evil spirits away, and it's a very auspicious sound. Outside the big pagodas is very decorative, very welcoming. I say pagoda and temple, but in Myanmar, pagoda is correct. And stupas, called zedi in Myanmar, are various sizes, and they will contain relics from Buddha. Notice the spires on them. Now, probably the most famous temple, Shwedagon. It's in Yangon. It has a height of 112 meters, and they say it has 40 tons of gold plate on it. I already talked about the diamond in its peak, and there are other semi-precious jewels as well. You can see it from all over Yangon. When you enter, it's got this huge entranceway. You do have to go through security. Once you're through, it's quite impressive with its vastness. There is a map that you can get your bearings if you're looking for something or just want to look at certain things. Once you're up in the main area, it's open, it's got this beautiful white tile, and then there are the zeddies along beside the huge pagoda. Again, look at the gold. And then the chint, which is part lion, part dragon. And then there are several different Buddhas that you can visit. People are worshiping there. Inside the hallways and some of the rooms are this beautiful shiny tile. And then there is an area for a cleansing ritual that you see now and then. I admit I find Buddhism very complicated, but from what I understand, it's a search or trying to achieve enlightenment by following the Buddha's teaching. You will see white elephants depicted in various places and ways. The sacred elephant is a symbol of power and good fortune, but also purity on the journey to enlightenment. And to that end, there are several meditation centers in and around Yangon and across the country. And then there's special occasions, festivals. Like I said, you'll probably see some. And look here, you can see a dignitary is riding an elephant in the parade. They'll have loudspeakers on trucks, they'll have like parades, they're all dressed up. Quite a sight to see and hear. And of course, Chinese New Year. If you're in Asia, you've got to see Chinese New Year. Red lanterns hanging everywhere. You might see the dragon dance with men in costume, doing acrobatic jumps and flips up on these platforms. It was actually a competition between different colored dragon teams. Quite the sight to see, loud drums beating. Pick a team and cheer them on. And then maybe you can see them afterwards. This head is one of the ones they wear. It's quite heavy. And then you see the chint, everything red for Chinese New Year. We can't forget shopping, of course, for gifts. You can find some beautiful fabrics, even clothing. They do these engraving on dishes, and you can find all sorts of that. It's beautiful. And then puppets, they're kind of good for a kid's gift, maybe. They're very well done. And of course, artwork. Now, this is one of my pictures. It's on my wall, as is this. It reminds me of downtown Yangon, and I love the colors. There's lots of scenery ones. There are some kind of modern ones. You can find all different mediums as well, and then simple village life. Or if you just need help fixing something like your watch, you can find a specialist. Now, there is a time you might not want to go, monsoon season. I got caught downtown during a monsoon downpour. We hid in a cafe, and in no time the roads were flooded. The drains weren't able to handle the water. There was so much water it was coming up the drains, not down. Okay, I've warned you about that. Now let's review some of the highlights of Myanmar. They have a fish soup national dish, mohinga. Try a local restaurant and you'll have a feast. You meet wonderful people, you get to see their life, their styles, their character. The children are wonderful. You'll see a strong culture. They've maintained their culture over centuries. They welcome you with open arms, and there's very little crime there. I hope I've successfully showed you this beautiful country and what you might experience if you go there, and I hope it's inspired you to think of Myanmar for that next exotic trip. Unfortunately, right now, 2025, there is an advisory against going to Myanmar because of violent clashes, so it's not safe, but put it on the back burner and keep your eye on Myanmar and check the news. Regardless of whether you can travel now, I'm going to keep doing the videos. Stay tuned for more of Myanmar. We're going to look outside Yangon and check out some nature and environmental stuff. I'll see you in the next video.